We see you, Bishop Shomali, and you are on.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Should I start?
yes. Yes, we are all gathered here in Poway, California, and we are anxious to hear your words, Bishop.
Really, I am grateful to you all for inviting me to make a Skype. Do you hear me and see me well?
Yes.
Good. Good. Thank you. Thank you. So, good evening to you all. It is for me 6 a.m. where I am speaking to you from Amman. And really, I am grateful to the Lord for this technical progress because I am really with you, not physically, but really. So I'm happy really to be able to make a short briefing. Before talking about our main topic, which is the micro credits to Christians in the Holy Land, I would like to raise a challenging question. What future do Christians in this part of the world have? The question is about their presence within some decades. Will they continue to exist or will they disappear as was announced by some Western authors? The question is crucial because without our local Christian population, the most important and ancient shrines in Christianity will be left as museum pieces. On another hand, the Christian presence in the Holy Land depends also upon the destiny of their brothers in other Arab countries, and the decline seems irreversible. Some facts on the ground may justify these fears. The Palestinian Christians diaspora began at the beginning of the 20th century, but reached a peak in 1948 war, the independence war for Israel. The Christian Palestinians make up today less than 2% of the population of Israel and Palestine, while there were 10% at that time. There are now more Jerusalem-born Christians in Sydney than in Jerusalem. There are more Bethlehemites who live in Chile than in Bethlehem today. In fact, around 1 million Palestinian Christians live today in the diaspora between South America, USA, Canada, and Australia. 1/5 only lives in the Holy Land. So the question again, how can we foresee their future? Is there a future for them? I don't want to be pessimistic, but I have to ask the question objectively. The future of the Christian community depends on many factors. Some are internal, it means related to the Christians themselves. Others don't depend upon them. They are external factors. Allow me to start with the internal factors. First factor is our own faith. Faith will give us more strength to endure difficulties and remain in the land of our ancestors. Second factor, the solidarity and mutual support among Christians themselves in the Holy Land. I speak here about the ecumenical relationship with Orthodox and Protestants in Jerusalem, Jordan, Israel, and elsewhere. The third factor is our openness to Islam and Judaism and our overcoming the mentality of ghetto, which is a real risk for us all to be closed in a ghetto mentality. And the fourth factor is the support of the churches in the West, and especially from the Order of the Holy Sepulchre. Dear brothers and sisters, supporting the Catholic Church in the Holy Land means supporting its pastoral, educational, and social activities. It also means supporting its efforts in promoting peace and justice. We can never express enough our gratitude for the great support that we receive from the Order of the Holy Sepulchre. We were reborn together 170 years ago and will continue to walk side by side to strengthen the Christian presence and defend faith and the values of justice, peace, and reconciliation. I can say without hesitation that the support of the order since the restoration of the Latin Patriarchate was and is still instrumental in defending and maintaining not only the Catholic but also Christian presence in this part of the world. I come now to the external factors upon which depends our future. They are mainly peace, security, and better economy. It is needless to repeat that insecurity along 10 wars in 80 years, 10 wars in 80 years, was a main reason for the immigration of Christians from the Holy Land. And insecurity doesn't come alone. Insecurity means unemployment, bad economy, and weak incentives to investors. Our young people who decide to leave the country do it because of all these reasons together. I turn the page. I am reading anyway. The economy in the West Bank depends on agriculture and the crafts such as embroidery, glassmaking, weaving, olive wood, and mother of pearl. We depend also on stone cutting and tourism. Talking about tourism, more than 2 million visit Bethlehem every year, and 3.5 million visit Jerusalem. Economy depends also on the wages that thousands of Palestinians earn through their work in Israel, where they are better paid than if they worked in Palestine. But the main source for Palestinian economy comes, unfortunately, from foreign aid. However, the rate of unemployment remains high, around 30% in Palestine and much more in Gaza Strip. The economic crisis from which suffers the whole Palestinian population has strongly impacted on Christians. The Christian population in the Holy Land has been decimated over the last 70 years. In Jerusalem only, it declined from 20% in the 40s to under 2% today. Don't forget that in Jerusalem lives today 1 million people, between a Jewish majority and a third of Arabs. Among all of them, less than 2% are Christians. Due to political turmoil, lack of jobs and opportunities, and challenges and difficulties caused by living behind the Israeli separation wall, vast numbers of Christians have left the country. If the remaining Christians continue to immigrate, the churches in the Holy Land will soon become museums for tourists, lacking the living faith and presence of Christian families whose ancestors have populated the pews of our churches for centuries. Without the help from Christians in the West, the indigenous Christian population will virtually disappear within a generation or two from the land where Christ was born. When I say disappear, it means we will become like less than 1%. It means insignificant presence. I am aware, dear friends, about the Holy Land Economic Development Fund. It's a charitable initiative established to provide economic assistance through small business microloans to Christian-owned family businesses in the Holy Land, including Jerusalem, Bethlehem, the West Bank of Palestine. Through the providing of small loans, the HLEDF seeks to create economic opportunities, jobs, income, self-sufficiency, and hope for Christian families, and thereby help stem the exodus from their ancestral land. I would like to show my full support to this project, which had great success in the past, because it gives a sustainable work to many families in Jerusalem or Bethlehem. These projects can vary a lot. They may consist of establishing a bakery, a restaurant for tourists, a coffee shop, a shop for selling clothes, buying a minibus to drive children to schools, or to set up auto parts business. It can expand in the future and consist of paying loans for university studies on condition of paying back after graduation. In fact, investing in education is important and vital. I am witness of a project financed through a loan taken from Caritas some 30 years ago. A man from Bethlehem started a small bakery to sell bread and sweets. It continued to expand to hire more and more people. He paid back the loan on due time. This project is now one of the main bakeries in Bethlehem and is located on the way from the checkpoint of Bethlehem to the Nativity Church. From one-man business, the bakery became the family business. His sons took over and continued the work of their father, still alive and full of gratitude to the church and to the donors. By the way, each Christmas he sends us a big sweet to enjoy. So it has also some advantages for clergy. His sons took over and continued the work of their father, still alive, and are filled of gratitude to the church and to the donors, which is Caritas. Of course, in the case of microloans, it's important to study the sustainability of the project, because its failure may cause a loss to the fund and a bankruptcy to the borrower, whose situation becomes worse than it was before the law. Dear brothers and sisters, I seize this occasion to thank you all gathered this evening, and to thank also the Western Lieutenancy for the support given to Caritas for the micro-loan projects. And I seize this occasion to greet many friends among you that I recognize among those who are present. I greet also His Excellency. I didn't see you at the beginning. I greet also Pat. I recognize you now. Maybe I recognize others, but the picture is small, really. It is not large, so I cannot, and my glasses are not very well. So I wish to the committee responsible for this project all success with my prayers and gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your thoughts, Bishop. I understand you may have a few minutes for some questions and answers.
Sure, of course.
Wonderful. Does anyone have a question in the audience?
At least one.
Yes.
Well, Bishop, it's my joy to welcome you officially here and to say thank you for welcoming us just a few weeks ago when we made our pilgrimage there. And You pinned me with the wonderful shell, the Jerusalem shell. So we're the pilgrim shell. So we're very I'm grateful to you for that. And I hope and pray that this is a wonderful success. I shared earlier that the micro loans are a very successful. It's a very successful program. I've experienced that in the past, and I trust and believe that it's going to be a very effective thing as well. My only question to you is, if you said that your glasses weren't working too well for you, your spectacles, then maybe we could have a micro loan for a glass maker there. All right. Okay.
No, I was joking, Excellency.
Any other questions? Cecilia.
Hello, Bishop. I had the pleasure of meeting you when I was in the Holy Land just recently. And one of the things that impressed me was the school that you had. And I think it was from kindergarten, at least from United States standards, to the 12th grade. Is there anything like that going on in Jordan at this time? And is that a need? Because I'm very interested in education, and that's the focus I feel is youth. So what do you have to comment on that?
Most of our Latin Patriarchate schools exist in Jordan more than Palestine. We have double schools in Jordan than Palestine. And I can say they are successful schools in the high school results, official results this year. The second, among 100,000 students, the second among the 10 first was from our school in Fuhais. It means the results were excellent. So our schools have excellence in Jordan. And they are supported mainly by the order. Third of the income comes from the Grand Magisterium each month. And we try to collect the rest either from the students or from local contributions.
Another question.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for joining us this evening. I'd like to ask you, the Holy Land Economic Development Fund is in partnership with Caritas Jerusalem. We will be funding loans through Caritas Jerusalem to the borrowers in the Holy Land. Can you comment to us on the history of Caritas Jerusalem and the integrity of the organization?
Yes, very good question. Caritas Jerusalem has been created because of the many wars that from which suffered Palestine and all the West Bank. Caritas now is in good hands. The director of Caritas Jerusalem is a sister, a nun, who works very professionally. And the fund for loans is very efficient. It works since years. When I was in Jerusalem, I don't have exact dates when the fund was created, but I know that it works very well. And Caritas doesn't give loans to anyone who asks. It is given only if there is a probability of sustainable work. Because if it is given without thinking and to the first who asks, the fund may be ended very quickly. And the fund continues. It is like rotating. People takes, give back, others take and give back. I believe there is transparency within this fund. You can trust it, really. You can have trust in this project. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, just a second.
Bishop, it's an honor to be able to speak with you. I have not met you personally. I've not been to the Holy Land, but I pray that in the near future I will be there.
Please.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I look forward to it in the near future. We're looking at the microloan and how it works, and it's great the way it's going. My question would be like, we talk about the unemployment rate. Will this, do you foresee in the future, hopefully in the extended future, that doing this program will be able to help increase employment in the Holy Land as well, mostly as increase the Christian population itself within the area?
You know, everything will not depend upon this project only. To help Christians remain in the Holy Land, there are several factors, as I mentioned in my briefing. But this is an important factor, really. Education is important also. Peace is important. More important than that is job creation and employment. If a Christian works and earns his life, he will never leave. So this project is helpful to those who don't have a work. So they hire themselves. They create their own business, and they can help others to work also. We are very proud when a Christian opens a business. For example, a Christian from Israel opened a winery near Deir Rafat. It's working very, very well. It's a big success. Many people work with him, many Christians. So for us, such a business, such a project is wonderful. So we would like to have successful Christians who have good initiatives. To answer your question, I believe that what you are doing through this development fund is great. It's a partial contribution, but it's an important one, I believe.
Okay. Any other questions? Well, Bishop Shomali, we want to all thank you. I don't know if you could tell, there's about 42 of us here in the room watching you, and you're seeing us as well. But I also want to extend my personal thank you for driving to Jerusalem from Amman a few weeks ago when you presented not only Bishop Dolan, but my wife and I and a few others their pilgrim shells. That was very special. And we also want to thank you for the meeting that we had on September 24th with you in your office, where my wife and I and David and Nancy Shanslin spent about 45 or 50 minutes with you, and that was just wonderful. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for getting up so early your time to be with us tonight, our time.
You know, when I see what you do for us, I don't hesitate one moment to do what I have done. It's something symbolic in confrontation with what your lieutenancy does for us all. I see from here Father Mikulanis also, so I greet him because he's a good friend. I recognized you. Okay. So good evening, enjoy your time, have a good wine. I leave you to go to the meditation, to the sharing of the gospel. We have a Bible study now with the priest. I am in a spiritual retreat. So I ask the forgiveness of your Bishop John because I left the retreat to talk. Okay. God bless.
Bishop, one more thing, Bishop. We would ask for your blessing, please.
Okay.
If be so kind.
Okay, with pleasure, with pleasure, with pleasure. Let us say a little prayer, then we give the blessing together with Bishop John. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy
name. Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
May the Almighty God bless you all, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you a lot. God bless.
Thank you.